signing of several projects or agreements, including the establishment of a green iron factory with an investment value of 3 billion Omani riyals. Developing the investment climate in the Dhofar Governorate, a forum discusses the opportunities and plans for enhancing investment environment in the Governorate. And a workshop in Musandam reviews future cities' strategies and announces Suruh residential project in the Wilaya of Khasab. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. On behalf of His Majesty the Sultan, His Highness Sayyid Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, received today Their Excellencies the Attorney Generals and the public prosecutors of the Gulf Cooperation Council countries who are attending their 15th meeting hosted by the Sultanate of Oman. After welcoming Their Excellencies, the Attorney General and the public prosecutors of the Gulf, His Highness indicated that the Sultanate of Oman, as it follows with great sorrow and grief the development of events on the Palestinian scene and the resulting negative repercussions that have been led to increased suffering of the brotherly Palestinian people, expresses the hope that all actions will stop hostility and that the rules of international law be respected. He said that the Sultanate of Oman reaffirms its permanent and continuous support for all efforts being made to stop the attacks and destruction of facilities that have led to massive loss of life and property, hoping that all these efforts will succeed in stopping the violence and returning the negotiations in order to support security and stability in the region, and that the Palestinians will achieve their legitimate rights in their independent state. On the other hand, His Highness stressed that the Gulf Cooperation Council countries continue to seek to support greater communication and interconnection between its countries by achieving everything that would meet the ambitions and aspirations of the Gulf people. The judicial receives attention from the GCC countries as legislations, regulations and laws have been unified that have contributed to facilitating litigation procedures in courts. The Sultan of Oman in turn attaches special importance to everything related to the judiciary and its development to ensure that the application of justice and complete equality among all citizens in all rights and duties. His Highness also referred to some proposals related to the current meeting of Their Excellencies, which were agreed upon by them, will included their agenda for consideration. During the meeting, the conversation covered a review of the topics on the meeting's agenda aimed at promoting everything that would make all good endeavors successful in support of the aspirations of the countries of the region for a better future. For their part, Their Excellencies, the public representatives and public prosecutors of the Gulf Cooperation Council countries expressed their thanks for the Sultanate of Oman's hosting of this meeting and for the preparation that contributed to reaching many positive results. They also praised the constructive role played by the Sultanate for the success of the Gulf cooperation process. The meeting was attended by His Excellency Sheikh Al-Fahd bin Mohammed bin Ahmed Al-Harthi, Secretary General of the Council of Ministers, and His Excellency Nasser bin Khamis Al-Sawai, Public Prosecutor. Under the auspices of His Highness Sayyid Tayazin bin Haytham bin Tariq Al Saeed, Minister of Culture, Sports and Youth, the first Duqm Economic Forum started today to explore the opportunities available in its special economic zone at Duqm. More details in the following report.
Organised by the Public Authority for Special Economic Zones and Free Zones OPAZ, the first Duqm Economic Forum started today under the auspices of His Highness Sayyid Yazan bin Haytham Al Saeed, Minister of Culture, Sports and Youth. The forum aims to create impact as it explores the dynamic innovation-driven partnership possibilities and showcases the exciting green investment opportunities of the Special Economic Zone at Duqm, CZAD.
Duqm is leading the changes, and Duqm will be the champion to transit Oman into green economy. We will be, hopefully in the near future, will be the global producer of green energy. So the fact is that Duqm got a different value proposition, and we got a different competitiveness in terms of many other things that abundant resources, which is contribute to the green hydrogen productions.
Workshops and panels in this premier two-day business event have been selected to reflect CZAD's role as an economic change leader and industrial powerhouse. It also is future-focused as the one-on-one Duqm Dialogues gives insights into the innovation, technology and talent that energize CZAD's ambition and fuel its success.
There are a number of projects in the world right now that are being discussed, particularly around decarbonization and industrial decarbonization. I think the Duqm Economic Forum sort of brings world leaders together to sort of say, we're a real project, right? This is a real situation where we have a free trade zone that allows for this development to happen. There's a lot of talk around the world about these kinds of projects. I think people want to see movement. They want to see actually things happening. And I think here, what you're seeing in Duqm is things are happening. It's not just talk, we're actually getting things done here.
It's noteworthy to mention that the first Duqm Economic Forum comes with more than 300 participants and around 90 companies from the Sultanate of Oman and abroad. The first Duqm Economic Forum comes to inspire and explore endless possibilities when it comes to business here in the Sultanate of Oman, focusing on sustainability, green hydrogen and much more. For Oman TV, Ahmed bin Hilal al-Busaidi, Duqm, Wusta Governorate.
His Highness Sayyid Yazan bin Haytham bin Tariq Al Saeed, Minister of Culture, Sports and Youth, met with a number of CEOs of international companies participating in the works of the first Duqm Economic Forum, which is currently held in the Special Economic Zone of Duqm. His Highness welcomed the CEOs of international companies at the beginning of the meeting, which reviewed investment opportunities in the fields of renewable energy, clean energy, including green hydrogen, green ammonia, in line with the Sultanate of Oman's approach towards achieving zero neutrality goals by 2050, in addition to the facilities rendered to the investors and investment climate of the Sultanate of Oman, especially in the Special Economic Zone of Duqm. His Highness Sayyid Yazan bin Haytham bin Tariq Al Saeed praised the agreements and memoranda of understanding signed by the several international companies in cooperation with the Public Authority for the Special Economic Zones and Free Zones to implement green hydrogen projects in the Special Economic Zone of Al Duqm, calling upon all other companies to benefit from the investment opportunities available in the economic zones and the free zones in the Sultanate of Oman. The CEOs of the international companies participating in the Duqm Economic Forum praised the project's investment opportunities and logistics services that will sow, which will positively reflect on the green industries sector of the Sultanate of Oman. The meeting was attended by His Excellency Dr. Ali bin Masood Al Sunaidi, Chairman of the Public Authority for Special Economic Zones and Free Zones, His Excellency Dr. Abdullah bin Nasser Al Harrasi, Minister of Information, and His Excellency Abdul Salam bin Mohammed Al Murshidi, Chairman of Oman Investment Authority. A forum was held in the FAR under the title developing the investment climate in the Dhofar Governorate to discuss the role played by the authorities concerned in the field of investment, the most important opportunities and plans aimed at enhancing the governorate in investment environment and joint efforts made in the field of investment promotion. The forum included the presentation of various work papers, including a paper on the National Investment and Export Development Program, NUSHAR, and the Investment in Oman Lounge Initiative, in addition to the paper of each of the General Directorate of Heritage and Tourism, the General Directorate of Agriculture, Fisheries and Water Resources in the Dhofar Governorate and the Dhofar Municipality. The forum was held under the auspices of His Highness Sayyid Marwan bin Turki Al Said, Governor of Dhofar. The Ministry of Interior launched the second edition of Al-Anqathib application, through which voters select the members of the Shura Council in its 10th term. The new edition of the app includes the addition of artificial intelligence technologies for people with visual and hearing disabilities. The application launch ceremony was held under the auspices of His Excellency Sayyid Hamoud bin Faisal Al Busaidi, Minister of Interior, who confirmed that the ministry is heading towards the digitization of all programs and services. The media meeting of the Ministry of Interior reviewed services and the new features of the two applications, Anqatib and Intiqab. Intiqab application will use features of artificial intelligence to analyze voting indicators. The voters' data will be disseminated for the first time according to the geographical distribution of governorates, wilayas and villages. On the advent of elections of Shura Council members for the 10th term, the media meeting reviewed the new updates of Antiqib applications. Such updates include audio reading for people with visual impairment and body language for people with disabilities and speech impairment. With an investment value of $100 million, the Environment Authority signed an agreement with MSA Green Projects to establish Oman Blue Carbon Project. The signing ceremony was held under the patronage of His Excellency Dr. Saud Hamoud Al Habsi, Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Water Resources. More details in the following report.
100 million mangrove trees will be planted in various areas of Al-Wusta Governorate during the coming 4 years, within an agreement signed by the Environment Authority to establish Oman Blue Carbon Project within the framework of the National Strategy for Zero Neutrality 2050.
This project, through an investor, it will be plant more than 100 million trees. There are different important benefits for the Environment Authority, among them economic benefits, among them tourism utilizing of this project, and as well environmental benefits and also the reduction of more than 14 million tons of CO2. So it is one of the most important projects, and it is a huge and a big start for the journey of nature-based solution in the Sultanate of Oman.
The 4-year project is expected to generate economic and financial revenues of about $150 million. It is scheduled to cut down carbon dioxide emissions by 14 million tons and bring about significant improvement in natural habitats alongside other benefits for local communities.
This is an agreement to plant 20,000 hectares of mangroves, which will be about 100 million trees in Oman. This is the largest project in the Middle East and the MENA region. And this will entail planting on a very large scale in these 4 areas which have been given to us, north and south of Dukum. And these trees, over their lifetime of 25 years, will be able to absorb about 14 million tons of carbon dioxide, which is equivalent to the entire vehicle fleet of Oman for a year.
It is worth mentioning that blue carbon is the carbon that is stored naturally by the marine and coastal ecosystems. The Environment Authority continues its efforts towards sustaining mangroves in 32 different sites in the Sultanate of Oman.
The Ministry of Transport, Communications and Information Technology organized a workshop on the space sciences industries and artificial intelligence with the participation of the European Nuclear Energy Agency. The workshop discussed the reality of astronomy and artificial intelligence industries in the Sultanate of Oman, the efforts of private and public institutions in this field, the national policies and programs on space sciences, and the challenges facing this sector in the Sultanate of Oman, and the best local and international practices in the fields of space science and artificial intelligence. The Ministry of Housing and Urban Planning in Musandam Governorate organized a workshop that reviewed strategies for future cities which are integrated models for various users. During the workshop, the Suruh residential project in the Wilaya of Khassab was also announced. The workshop activities were held under the auspices of His Excellency Sayyid Ibrahim bin Saeed Al Busaidi, Governor of Musandam. The Sultan Qaboos Air Academy at the Royal Air Force of Oman today conducted the practical demonstration of the tactical exercise Condemned Shame 33 for officer candidates, as well as limited services course and a university officer course. The ceremony took place in the exercise zone in the governorate of North Al-Batana under the auspices of RAFO Commander Air Vice Marshal Khamis Hamid Al-Ghafri, who listened to the briefing about practical demonstrations and the objectives of the training. Major General Hamid bin Ahmed Sakroon, head of Academy of Strategic and Defense Studies, received a delegation from the Supreme National Defense University of the Islamic Republic of Iran, headed by Brigadier General Ismail Hamadi Muqaddam, who is currently visiting the Sultanate of Oman. During the meeting, the two sides discussed means of strengthening the cooperation of the Sultanate of Oman and the Islamic Republic of Iran in academic and training fields. The meeting was attended by several senior officers from the Academy of Strategic and Defense Studies and the military attaché of the Embassy of the Islamic Republic of Iran in Muscat. A delegation from the Supreme National Defense University of the Islamic Republic of Iran visited the National Defense College at the Academy of Strategic and Defense Studies. The delegation met with the commandant of the National Defense College and discussed several topics of mutual interest, particularly in the academic and training fields. The delegation was briefed on the National Defense College and its various facilities and departments. The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Water Resources launched the Omani Food Bank and its website. This came during an event organized by the ministry on the occasion of the World Food Day, shedding light on the importance of conducting periodic evaluations on agriculture and food production conditions. The event included discussion sessions on the relationship between water resources and food security, water resources sustainability, and its role in the food security system. The event was held under the patronage of His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Nasser Al-Bakri, Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Water Resources for Agriculture. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. On behalf of His Majesty the Sultan, His Highness Sayyid Fahad bin Mahmoud receives their excellencies, their representatives, generals and public prosecutors of the Gulf Cooperation Council countries. His Highness Sayyid Tayazin bin Haytham Al Saeed presides over the opening ceremony of the first Duqm Economic Forum and the signing of several project agreements, including the establishment of a green iron factory with an investment value of 3 billion Omani riyals. Developing the investment climate in the Far Governorate Forum discusses the opportunities and plans for enhancing the investment environment in the Governorate. And a workshop in Musandam reviews future cities' strategies and announces a Siroh residential project in the Wilaya of Kasab. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the studios and the newsroom, it's good night and stay safe.